Good afternoon, brothers and sisters.
Good afternoon, Bill.
How are all y'all? All right. Good to be in person again. We're starting to turn the corner. Some of the carriers are recalling pilots and starting to hire. Earnings have improved at some airlines. The U.S. and Canadian populations are getting vaccinated. And for the first time since October 2019, we're meeting in person. Something to think about. Let's hope these examples are signs of our industry beginning to recover. In today's report, I will talk about membership and pilot group changes, PDG activities, the latest ITAC developments, fee for departure news, and the status of the P4P. As of May 1st, ALPA represents 59,029 pilots at 35 airlines. We have 53,300 active members and 202 furloughed pilots. The number of Canadian pilots listed furloughed does not reflect the many who are receiving CEWS but are not actively flying. If your MEC has a list of these affected pilots, please let us know. Airlines do not always share their data. We want to make sure these members have access to ALPA's furlough recesses. Other ALPA membership figures are listed in your briefing materials. I want to welcome temporary MEC Chair Greg Pinkney and the 180 pilots of Western Global. ALPA was certified as their bargaining agent on April 6th. I also want to welcome MEC Chair Steve Mathis and the 160 pilots of Amerijet International. The NMB certified ALPA as their bargaining rep on October 27th. Earlier this year, Air Canada announced plans to consolidate its express operation under one airline, Jazz. As a result, Sky Regional closed its doors on March 31st. However, the Jazz MEC negotiated a deal that provides Sky Regional pilots with flying jobs. I want to congratulate the Jazz MEC for thinking about their fellow ALPA pilots. Next, let's talk about the Professional Development Group. After many years as the ALPA Leadership Committee Chair, Delta Captain David Farmer has retired. I want to thank David for his service and dedication. He's been a true ALPA asset. And I also want to thank Delta First Officer Mark Lockwood for agreeing to serve as the new leadership chair. The Leadership Committee's newest recruit is WestJet Captain Glenn Gorey. Glenn is the committee's first Canadian member. On February 24th, the committee held a virtual one-day leadership training conference. To supplement the conference, the Leadership Committee created a series of training modules. This year's conference presentations and training modules are posted on the Leadership website. The committee is also planning an in-person conference on September 21st and 22nd is what we're looking at, but we'll get the confirmation out. The ALPA Membership Committee met virtually in January and March to discuss ALPA's Military to Airline Transition Guide, which is posted on the Clear to Dream website, Family Issues group content, new hire briefings and PowerPoint templates, and the status of the Membership Committee website. Monthly briefings for Membership Committee chairs continue. Also, ALPA has been promoting the recall checklist for U.S. carriers, and we continue to support our Canadian members. Membership Chair Candy Bernstetter represents ALPA on the FAA Women in Aviation Advisory Board. She recently participated in an IFALPA Female Pilot Working Group call. Plus, she spoke to the Women in Aviation chapters at Embry-Riddle Daytona and Ohio State. I want to thank Candy and her committee for all they do for ALPA. The Education Committee has been busy despite the pandemic, ELPA was a sponsor in the Women in Aviation Conference held in March. ELPA staffed a virtual booth. They presented a pre-recorded panel discussion titled Strategies for Work-Life Balance as an Airline Pilot. The virtual booth also featured a video encouraging young women to consider becoming airline pilots. And just this week, the Executive Council approved a new alliance with Louisiana Tech University. That means ELPA now has professional development programs at 13 universities. In 2021, they have participated in events with both Embry-Riddle campuses, Lewis University, Louisiana Tech, Oklahoma State, Ohio State, Purdue, University of North Dakota, and Western Michigan. Plus, the committee has been involved in the accreditation process at several universities with aviation programs. The group is also discussing ways to incorporate a diversity and inclusion strategy at the accreditation process. I want to thank Education Chair, FedEx First Officer Justin DeHaan, and his committee for their hard work. We're making plans to attend Oshkosh this summer. This event will be held from January 26th through August 1st. We were at AirVenture in 2019, and we participated virtually in 2020. For 2021, ELPA's booth will just be a few blocks away from Boeing Plaza. This new location will give us greater visibility and allow us to stage presentations whenever we want. Next, let's talk about ITAC and ELPA's IT department developments. The big news since we last met is the introduction of Flight Finder. For those who haven't seen it, this video highlights the capabilities of this mobile app feature.
Designed by pilots for pilots, the ALPA Jumpseat Flight Finder is the most recent addition to the ALPA mobile app. Plan your commute with the powerful flight search with cross-airline connections, all on one screen. Quickly save flights for easy reference and commute planning. Easily access any of your saved flights from the past or future, and view up-to-date flight status information. View your MEC-specific jumpseat information with one click. Recent searches help to keep your most used commutes saved in one place. ALPA Flight Finder combines cargo and passenger schedules on one screen. The detailed filtering options help to find you the best flight option. The ALPA Flight Finder is now available in the ALPA app, in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download the latest version and log in with your ALPA credentials.
Flight Finder is a game changer. Since it launched last year, it has racked up more than 250,000 flight searches. Flight Finder is improving the quality of life for our pilots. And speaking of ELPA's mobile app, last month we launched a new version that includes improvements that came from pilot feedback. Additional features like flight time, duty time calculator for the Canadian members will be available soon. The ALPA Part 117 calculator for U.S. crews will also be moved to the ALPA mobile app later this year. ALPA's IT department moved more than 5,000 ALPA.org email accounts to the Microsoft Cloud. This decision provides us with better security and backup capabilities. We've also upgraded the association's reporting capabilities with Tableau. In DC, we've completed the IT network for our new townhouse at 304 Pennsylvania Avenue. ALPA IT has also created new websites using our new Evoke and Google Search platform. These include a FedEx contract negotiations microsite, and new websites for Amerijet, Air Wisconsin, First Air, and Piedmont. Other sites are in development and awaiting final approval. Finally, we continue to make improvements to DART. We now have 10 MECs using this program. Moving along, PSA Captain Scott McCormick was appointed as the chair of the ELPA Fee for Departure Committee. The FFDC held a video conference just yesterday to hear pilot and staff briefings. The meeting also included a panel discussion with MEC chairs, United Captain Todd Itzler, Delta Captain Jason Ambrosi, and Piedmont Captain Brendan Leidy. The group talked about career progression. This was a great opportunity to highlight what's happening in the fee for departure world. Pilots for Pilots, the ALPA Emergency Relief Fund, has received many requests and grants since we last met. The current P4P balance is $49,288.10. During 2021, we've collected $21,773.46 in donations and allocated $70,175.50 in grants. To help revitalize this important ALPA resource, we are declaring June P4P Awareness Month. Delta Captain Nate Hillard, who serves as the P4P president, will talk more about this important effort later in the meeting. I want to thank Captain Hillard and his other board members for all the efforts to help our pilots in need. I also want to remind you to encourage your pilots to donate to P4P. For more than a year, ALPA has been making accommodations to help our members and our airlines through the pandemic. We've introduced new programs and resources for our members, negotiated 127 MOUs and LOAs to limit pilot displacements and better protect our members, and conducted huge call to action campaigns to remind lawmakers how important airlines and airline pilots are to the economies. I believe this phase in our union's history will be remembered from the many ways that ALPA came to the aid of our members. I want to thank each of you for your leadership and cooperation in helping us weather this storm. You worked together and shared information to give ALPA pilots a fighting chance. Throughout ALPA's 90 years, pilot leaders have come together to overcome tough situations. Your response to this pandemic has been one more example. Thanks for listening, and come find me if you have any questions. Thank you.